Hi, Mike Ritchie with the Ritchie Law Firm. I'm going to take you step by step from crash to the end and compensation in your auto accident case. All right, first step is the crash itself, right? And in the immediate aftermath of the crash, the most important thing to worry about is yourself, right? Are you in a safe position? Do you need to get yourself out of your car or away, or your car away from the lane of traffic? I mean, keep yourself safe first and foremost, and then immediately get the medical attention that you need. I mean, if you're injured, that is the most important thing. Make sure that you're getting medical treatment. Now, if you're able to get out of your car and look around, I think at that point, go ahead and make sure that you communicate with the police officer when he arrives. If you have your phone or your camera, it's okay to take some pictures of the accident scene so that you can document it. But again, the most important thing is that if you're feeling any pain or any discomfort or any problems, that you go seek that medical treatment right away. And that's really the first step before you do anything else, is making sure that you're okay. All right. The next thing that you might want to do is, if you're injured and you've had to seek medical treatment, I think at that point it's time to go ahead and talk to the lawyer. And what you want to do is you want to look for a lawyer who has experience and specialties in handling auto accidents or the type of accident you're in. I mean, those are the types of lawyers that are going to have specialized training. They're going to have experience. They're going to have the knowledge that's going to be able to give to you so that you're going to be able to help get you through this in the least painful way possible. That's what we do here at the Ritchie Law Firm, and you have to make sure that you're contacting a law firm that can handle that type of thing. What that law firm, if they're the type of law firm that does this work, if they're like us, like the Ritchie Law Firm, what they're going to first do is jump right in and investigate the case. That's making sure that they get everything from the police. If there are multiple police agencies, getting everything from those agencies, including any pictures or videos that might exist, making sure that you get all the evidence from the ambulance, any of the medical records, if there are any witnesses, tracking down those witnesses, getting the stuff that you need right at the very, very beginning so that you can prove your case. The next part of the case will largely be about you getting your medical treatment and you seeking the type of treatment that you need so that you can get better, right? That's the whole point, okay? As you get treatment, a good attorney should be able to make sure that you're seeking the type of care that you need and that you're headed along the way. Whenever you feel better and you're ready to go back to your regular life, or your doctors are telling you, hey, this is it, this is the new normal for you, that's the time that you need to communicate back with your lawyer, because now it's going to be time to deal with that insurance company about whether or not this case can be resolved. Okay, that attorney should gather all of that information from the investigation stage, plus gather anything else that has come up along the way, all the evidence of any lost wages or the problems you're having, including any disability or other issues that you may have related to this accident. They gather it all together, okay, and then they put it up together in a package. They send it off to the insurance company, and that's when the negotiations begin. And that attorney should communicate with you throughout that entire process, telling you, all right, here's what we've asked for, here's what they've responded with, and you should hear that back and forth. Now, often that's going to be the end of the case. At some point, the insurance company is going to offer an amount of money that you're willing to accept, and your case will settle. And at that point, you'll sign paperwork that resolves the case, and it'll be closed, and the money will come in, and it'll get distributed, and it'll be done. Now, but unfortunately, sometimes the insurance companies aren't willing to pay the compensation that you really deserve for the injuries that you've been through. And in those situations, that attorney, if you've hired that specialist, someone like the Ritchie Law Firm, that attorney is going to file a lawsuit on your behalf, okay? And because that's the only way that we can force the insurance company to do what they should do, okay? You know, if they're not willing to voluntarily pay you, your only choice is to go to court and force them to pay you. Okay, and that's what we do. You file that lawsuit, you start that process right off the bat. Next will come what we would call the discovery phase, okay? And discovery is just the legal term that we use for the period of time between when the lawsuit is filed and up to the trial, where the parties learn information from each other. We discover information. That's what it's called. Okay, and there's lots of different ways that they do it. Some of it's written, some of it's oral. Sometimes you might have what we call your deposition taken, and that's just someone asking you questions out of court while you're under oath, okay? And that's all part of this process of learning what the other side knows and them learning what you know, right? That's what the process is, okay? During that process, there may be continued negotiations with the insurance company. You never know. But at the end of that process, if you have not resolved the case, now comes the trial, okay? And that trial can take a couple of different forms. You can have a jury trial. You can have a trial in front of a judge. I mean, they are different but similar in many, many ways. Your attorney should help you navigate what's the right court, what's the right avenue for you to take your case. Okay? At that point, when you go to trial, your attorney should have you prepared. He should be telling you what's going to happen at the trial, what kind of evidence is going to be presented. He should be telling you the type of questions that you're going to be answered so that you can go there able to testify about what you've been through, how this has affected you, so that attorney should be able to ask for the compensation that you deserve. At that point, the jury should render a verdict. At the end of the trial, the jury will render a verdict, or the judge will render a verdict, and then that will become the amount of money that has been ordered for the insurance company to pay so long as you win your case. Now, obviously, at the end of a case, even if there is a verdict, there's always a chance that some side will appeal. And if they appeal, then that process will continue on, okay? If you've won the case and the insurance company appeals, they'll have to put in a bond for the amount that you've won, so that money's there. And then, at that point, they have the appeals rights. If anybody else does, just like you would, they can take it to the Court of Appeals. They can take it to the Supreme Court of Virginia if they have an issue that they believe would get the case overturned. Typically, that's not what's going to happen. Typically, what's going to happen, if there's a verdict, that's going to be the end of it. At that point, if the verdict is paid, there'll be some more paperwork to sign, obviously, and then your attorney should distribute the money, pay everyone who has any sort of legal right to the money, and then making sure that you yourself get paid. And that's it. That's the whole process. That's from accident all the way to verdict. Hopefully sometime in there's a detour to settlement. But if you have an accident and you have questions about how do I do this and what's going to happen next, it's probably best that you call an attorney. Here at the Ritchie Law Firm, we've had lots of experience handling cases all the way from pretty much almost the day of the accident all the way to the end of the verdict and through the appeals. We are a law firm that specializes in this type of thing. We're the type of law firm that you need to call if you have this kind of case, if you have these kinds of questions. Thanks.